had a shower, washed my hair, put on some makeup, and I am not giving up on myself. This morning I dragged myself out of bed to do yoga at 7:30 in the morning, even though I wanted to stay under the covers and just be like, no, I don't want to get out of bed. Life sucks. Like, why is this happening to me? And I realized that that is staying in victim mode, and I'm not going to get anywhere being in that mode. And the other thing I realized is that actually, since I came back to Gozo, there have been nothing but blessings. There's been nothing but love given towards me. So many people have just been supporting me in so many ways. And when you're in a state of lack, you don't see that. All you see is, woe is me. Why is this happening to me? You know. And then there's been this guilt of, what if I had gone back to Germany after my partner made his second attempt on his life? What if I had gone back, sorry about the background noise, what if I had gone back and given him some love? Would that have made a difference? Would that have made him want to stay here? And at some point, I'm going to have to forgive myself for that, because he made his choice, and we don't always know why we make the choices that we make. Like, for example, I keep saying that I lost my partner, I lost my apartment, you know, like as if everything was taken away from me. And yes, it was my dream to get married, and I was like this close to getting married and having babies. Like, me and Hans met in hospital, and literally when he came out and came back to my home, he was like, I'm gonna get you pregnant. I'm gonna get you pregnant in like 1 second. I have like super sperm. It's gonna happen on the first attempt. And then and I was like, okay, I'm not too sure about this, but hey, why not? You know, we got a beautiful home here and we're in love, and I'm 42. Why not? You know? And after he said this, after we made love, he literally was tipping me upside down and just being like, yeah, I'm gonna get all this sperm here working in the right direction. But nope, turns out his sperm wasn't enough to crack through on 4 attempts. And then it was kind of lucky, because then we went to Germany and we were literally living, our bed was like underneath the tattoo studio. So it wasn't really the perfect place to suddenly find yourself pregnant. So I have to say, I was kind of relieved it didn't happen at that point, because yeah, like suddenly circumstances changed and we didn't have our beautiful home. And he made my home so beautiful. Like, yeah, like I'm sitting on the sofas in my friend's house where I'm staying, and these were the sofas that I sold to her, because basically the landlord wouldn't let me live in the apartment with me. He just didn't like him. He didn't take to him. I don't know whether it was because Hans was covered in tattoos. I don't know whether it was because he was half Filipino. I don't know. He's just a weird, difficult man who's like, this flat can have the dog, this flat can't. These people can sublet, these people can't. He just makes up different rules for different people, you know. And yeah, I think he kind of wanted me out of the flat, because, you know, I've had like quite a lot of breakdowns, even though I made the home beautiful, really beautiful. And then when Hans came, he made it even more beautiful. He would like put up a rail for my earrings and he would hang them on it. He'd put up a rail for all the sunglasses. Put up this big bamboo sheet, you know, across the balcony, so that we had shelter, so that we weren't overseen by the neighbors. And we had our own outdoor area on the balcony and stuff. Like, he just brought magic. He was a genius with everything he did. Let's see if I can blow a bubble. No. I'm clearly not a genius with everything that I do. That's negative self-talk, Suze. How does this work? There we go. Did you see that? One bubble. And this is what I'm telling myself now, is that one of the things that Hans was very good at was mastering things. So he mastered the guitar, he mastered tattoos, he mastered many things. Whereas I have a tendency to give up very easily, and I've noticed that about myself. So I'm starting to change that now and realize that I don't have to be the girl that can't make banana bread just because the first attempt that I do is like a nightmare and it's all gooey. And then I'm like, what's the point in spending money on making more banana bread because everything I do just is not good enough, And so there's this whole I'm not good enough pattern showing up. I haven't shared my gifts here in Gozo with people because I feel like everyone else has so many gifts, like, mine are not worthy to offer kind of thing. And this is another state of lack that I've been in. And it even says in the Bible, for those who have more will be given, and for those who have less, more will be taken away. And we think, well, that's not fair. Surely those people that are lacking should be given more. But it's not really talking about money. It's talking about those who have more love, more will be given. Those who have more trust, they'll receive more things, because when you have more faith, more trust, you see the miracles, then miracles start to happen. Those who have less, like those who are in fear, those who are in a lack of trust and lack of faith, those who have less love, you just attract more of those fearful things to you. And I really noticed it this morning as I dragged myself out of bed. I had a choice. I can just stay under the covers because life sucks and why is this happening to me, and like everything's so overwhelming, and I hate not having my own place, and I hate having my stuff everywhere. I've got stuff here, I've got stuff in England, I've got stuff in a garage, and it's like I feel very, discombobulated. And I was just like, I don't know why this has happened to me. Maybe this was what I chose in this lifetime to overcome, to overcome this grief of losing a partner at a time in my life where, I don't know, it could be my last chance to have a baby. Like, I haven't been bleeding for the last 2 months, so maybe my time is up and I might have to go without that beautiful experiences of giving birth to a child and seeing it grow and having to experience that beautiful unconditional love. And if that's the case, then that's something that as a woman I'm going to have to grieve. I don't know, or whether I will meet another partner, and I think there was this feeling that what's the point, because where my friends are, not just successfully or with money, because it's not necessarily the case, but vibrationally where my friends are. They're vibrating on a really high frequency of love and gratitude, and are just so grateful for everything that comes in their life, and they witness and bless all the miracles. I've been in a woe is me, why is this happening to me, life sucks, it's never gonna get any better. And obviously because of that, then I get more fearful and I get more worried, and then life feels harder and more overwhelming, and that's why this morning I was like, if I gotta drag myself to the yoga mat, I gotta drag myself to the yoga mat, because that is an act of self-love, taking care of my body, because our bodies shouldn't necessarily be getting older as we age. We can be getting younger. We can actually be getting younger as we age, if we choose to stay in that vibration and look after our spines and look after our nervous system and everything. So, yeah, and last night I briefly spoke about purpose, and that was the question, what is my purpose here? And then my friend said to me today, the beautiful Audrey, said to me today, maybe your purpose here is self-love. That's a purpose, to learn to love. How can we love? How can we love others if we don't love ourselves? And I think there's a part of me that's like, I don't even know what that means, to self-love. But getting on the yoga mat, taking care of my body, that's an act of self-love. Getting in the shower, washing my hair, taking everything out of my suitcase and just organizing it. And while I'm in my friend's house that's not my home, just making it as much my home as I possibly can, you know, and just being grateful for everything that I've got. So I'm at the stage where I'm like, I got out of hospital. I would love to be free of medication. I've proved that you can be free. I was free of medication for 6 years, not without any hospital admissions. I've proved that that's a possibility. I can do it again if I want to. I may not know exactly what I want with my life, but there's a lot of things I know I don't want. So knowing the things you don't want is a very powerful place, because you just got to flip it to the opposite of what you don't want to find out what you want. And one of the things when you're in fear is that you often take things that you don't want because you're terrified that you're not going to get anything better than that. And that's not trusting in the universe to deliver to you what you want. So, yeah, if I had a magic wand, what would I manifest right now? And I don't know exactly, and that's okay. I don't know if I want to stay living in Gozo. The idea of having my own apartment again after I built this one up for 2.5 years, you know, I built it up and I invested in furniture and I made it beautiful and I made it home. Like, the idea of having to do that all over again is like, ugh, like that just seems exhausting. But there's another part of me, and also I'm not sure if I'm ready to settle in a place where I don't feel like I can find a partner. Even though I did find a partner here, there's a feeling like, I don't think I'm going to find a partner here. So is it a good idea to settle here, you know, or should I go out into the world looking, you know, maybe I should go to Hawaii, or maybe I should go to Bali, or maybe I should go somewhere else. But I think I'm very fragile right now. I'm still grieving. Some days, like last night, I was just uncontrollably crying because I realized, like, I was just remembering his hands, and I was remembering his nails, and I was remembering his arms. They were all tattooed, but all beautiful, and like just I felt like he was sitting there on the bed next to me, and I was just like, God, if I could just hear him play guitar just one more time. And I'm never gonna have that experience, you know, like. And so it's delayed. The grief is really delayed. It's already 4 months since he passed, and I'm only just really grieving now. But we can't judge that. We can't judge ourselves. And at the same time, I've got to stay strong, because I got to take care of myself. I got to make sure that there's some money in the bank and some food on the table. So it's a challenge, you know, but yeah, it's probably going to be one of the biggest challenges of my life, because there's a part of me that wants to give up. It's like, what's the point? We don't know what the point is, but if we're here on earth, then there's a reason that we're here. And maybe the only reason we're here is to lift our vibration, so we can lift the vibration of the planet, so that there can be less corruption, so that there can be less starvation, so that there can be, you know, less horrors happening in the world, because those of us that are strong and in love can then start to help to heal other people. So I don't know if I'm going to get to that place, but it starts with day one. Every day's a day one, you know, just seeing what you can do to stay in a good vibration. So, good vibrations. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, and you want to support me on this journey while I'm in grief, and I am starting to try and get work, but if you want to support me, if you've been watching my content for a while and you're like, actually, I've never ever given back, I've never sent any kind of a donation, and you feel that that would be a good exchange, it's paypal.me/Suze the Creative Rebel, and you can just send me a little thing with your name, a little bit of money with your name, and I'll do a shout out for you here on the channel. If you like my content on Patreon and you haven't checked that out, it's 5 years where I've explored mostly what I was trying to show was that our most real self is naked. We don't wear clothes, right? So there is nudity on the channel. It's not non-safe for work, and it's definitely not porn. And I will teach you Qigong and Pilates and yoga. There's so much stuff in there. You'll also find music videos. I've done underwater photography projects. I've worked with loads of photographers. You know, sharing myself in a most authentic way. And if you're curious about that and you've never checked that out, It's www.patreon.com/thisissuze. So you can go and check out the content there. The Authenticity Challenge is $25 for the month. If you want everything that I've ever done, it's $50 for the month. But that $50 buys you 5 years of content. So if you look at it that way, it's a bargain. And that will support me, and that also means that you have access to me. You can email me, we can become friends. I have at least, so I have Stu, I have Ramon, I have Michael, 3 of my patrons who are friends that I literally talk to on the phone like every day. And it's beautiful that we have this connection, and they've been super supportive to me as I've been going through this process. And it's lovely to have my patrons as my friends. They're literally the people I call every day. It's so cool. And you could be one of them if that's what you want. You want to speak to me on the phone every day, you can have that. You just got to become my patron. All right, wishing you a magical day. If I had a magic wand, I would give you everything that you desire. But just start gently loving yourself each day, taking care of yourself. And I think that's the only way we can, when we're going through hard times, I think that's the only thing that we can do. All right, that's enough from me. Love to you.